Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. So today we will talk about a topic oriented to Cegid Retail Live Store. So, as you understood, we have different webinars series for this end of the year, and the topic is to talk about the customer journey and how to streamline omnichannel customer journey in store, with Cegid Retail Live Store. So for people that don't know me, so I'm Florian Perizet. I'm a pre-sales consultant since 6 years for Cegid Retail. So mainly for the French market, but of course sometimes for international deals also and international retailers. So I will manage the session, and for people who just arrive, I'm just saying that this session is recording, and we will share the presentation supports just after the meeting, thanks to Audrey. So, and last topic again, just to repeat, but for people who need to ask a question, we have a chat or Q&A button that you can use for that, and I will try to answer to you at the end of this session. Just a kind of summary of what we are going to see together today. So we will introduce very quickly, of course, the different trends and challenges of the retail market in terms of digitalization, in terms of customer journey, how to improve this term and set up some accurate customer journey. So we will give you two visions, what we believe and what we do for that. Of course, the main focus of this webinar will be on the Cegid Retail Live Store session. So the interest of this part is to show you some use cases, to talk about processes, of course, and to show you some last features available with this product. And a Q&A part, as I explained just before. So about the challenges. So what is interesting to have in mind is so maybe I can just switch off the video. Okay, that's better. So all the retailers, as you already know, need to transform a little bit their customer experience in store. So in terms of transformation, more and more, we, of course, since many years, we talk about omnichannel. Omnichannel is a large topic and is no longer an option because in terms of entertainment, in terms of information sharing, this is a key topic for the different brands in the retail industry. So with this product, we will try to highlight some key assets, some key processes in terms of omnichannel. And of course, we talk more and more about the ability to train your staff and to get like we called mobility in store in order to be closer than your customer and to bring mobile processes, mobile services directly in store. And some topics are more and more famous, like the digitalization of the receipts, for example. And that's why to promote more environmentally friendly habits are something more frequently asked by retailers and studied. And that's why this is a kind of features mandatory to be included in this kind of solution we can offer. Also, what is interesting is, as I said, omnichannel is no longer an option, is because we saw a real increase of different processes like the BOPIS, like the buy online, pick up in store. It becomes the norm because it allows for the retailers to promote the collection, to share, of course, the inventory, the store inventory level into the e-commerce. And thanks to this vision, customers can easily make a reservation, can easily interact with the store and process to a reservation process, for example, in order to have more flexibility if he wants to pick up the product after his work or after it's school, whatever. It's a kind of process very, very important, and we saw that this is a kind of use case more and more famous and key for the different retailers. So the world changing, as we explained, and more and more since this pandemic period. What we observe also is we talk about a lot since many years. We talk about user experience, customer experience, but we don't have to forget also the staff experience, because your staff, your sales associates are the main part of a mobile project, digital project in store, and are the main person that can increase, of course, this and improve this transformation for your store network. So our objective, our goal today is to be able to develop some features, to develop an interface smart and very intuitive with a lot of stuff oriented in terms of UX UI, to be easy to take in hand, to be easy to understand. We need to create a tool, a digital tool, which is very simple in terms of learning and in terms of using every day. So this topic of staff experience is a theme more and more study also by the retailers. And when we use a tool simple every day, maybe it makes the recruitment of new talents easier, because it's very with the design of an interface more easier to use every day. It's something very interesting to to catch the attention of your staff, and to give them enjoyment of using IT tool every day in store. So regarding this different topic, our vision is with Cegid Retail Live Store was to develop first a tool that will help your staff to entertain and elevate the shopping experience. So that means to give the ability to your team to understand quickly how to use a digital tool, how to use a mobile application in order to sell, in order to advise the customer, and in order to search an information regarding price, regarding inventory, or other topics in the system. And of course, one of the main targets is also to help the business and IT teams to get new features and services more regularly. And for that, we have to be able to have an architecture more open and more easy in terms of deployment, in order to be able to receive frequently and in short term to deliver more and more services and features for your staff, in order to help them to in fact to better serve the customer every day. So the key points, if we have a look about the different targets, the key points is to say, with this kind of application, what is key if I have a UX UI very simple to understand, if I have the key features embedded in one application, if I have a solution more open and extensible by design, I mean to be able to interact with a third app in real time, better the experience would be for the user, for the staff, and better the experience finally would be for the consumer every day. And of course, it will match with a strong adoption inside your staff in your store. So regarding this vision, one of our answer is to say that we launched, of course, some years ago. So 2 years ago exactly, we launched Cegid Retail Live Store, so a kind of new generation of collaborative in-store apps. So with this application, this is a web application. In order to have access, whatever the device, whatever the operating system, Windows, Android, or iOS, and to give the ability for the staff to be connected either with a fixed POS or a mobile in-store. In terms of key features, we will highlight some of them, mainly talking about use cases, and we will try to highlight this topic right now. So just a last point also, during the last Paris show events, so this solution was awarded in the category omnichannel commerce. So we will highlight some new key features related to the omnichannel processes. So as you see on my screen, we have different form factors of this application. So either on the fix, on the tablets, or on a smartphone, and whatever the device, you will benefit of the same interface, and you will offer the same scenario if you want to at your different customers. So in terms of Cegid Retail Live Store platform, what I offer to you is to discover together different kind of use case. So the main features are written directly on this slide. So we will highlight some of them. What you have to have in mind is we can call Cegid Retail Live Store as a kind of light POS with key features like how to manage my sales, how I can manage queue boosting in store, how I can advise quickly my customer and find information related to my current inventory, related to my current prices, to have access to my collection digitally, and to be able to promote and sell products which are physically present in my store or unavailable in my store, but available by order creation, for example, and to have the ability to, of course, to offer the same experience, whatever the format you want to set up in your store. So for this topic, what is interesting is we will see together how to be ready for starting an experience thanks to Cegid Retail Live Store. I will focus on 5 main use cases. These 5 use cases involve different profiles. So of course, the final customer, the sales advisor, who can be the person that manage a part of the selling ceremony, or in some way the sales advisor can manage the full customer journey if you want to manage the checkout process in mobility. And sometimes when the sales advisor manage just a part, the final step of a customer journey can be done by the cashier, and that's why we just highlight the cashier with the fixed POS version of Live Store. So for the beginning of the experience, when we talk about queue boosting, it's a first step to highlight how to benefit of the same and unique user experience across any format of device. So when we talk about queue boosting, it could be for first to be able to set up you know, a first step with a mobile journey in store. So it could be very simple in order to take in hands very quickly and to learn very quickly the user interface and to entertain how it works. This kind of stuff will be highlighted with this kind of journey. I mean, when the customer come in store, sometimes the customer decides, of course, items they want to purchase. And for that, the sales advisor can be the person who will populate the basket and initiate the basket. So on the sales floor, automatically, I can identify my customer profile. I can scan or identify the different products and populate the basket and push this basket directly to the cashier who will manage the transaction. So in fact, this kind of stuff are very interesting when you want to start, a first experience with mobility in store. To have a first feedback of your team, maybe the good way is to start with some simple features. The receipt on hold is something very easy to understand and very easy to set up. With that, I am able, of course, to populate my basket on my mobile as a sales advisor. So I identify by scan or by search automatically my customer and my item. After that, I need to push the receipt to the cashier, so I can put on hold the receipt and just add a comment. These kind of features are optional here, but it's just a kind of idea just to, for example, specify to my cashier how will be the payment of this basket. And after that, when the basket is on hold, automatically the cashier here can be able, as you see in my screen on the fixed post, the cashier will be able to recover the receipt on hold. So if you see very quickly here, I have the comments, I have the sales associate identify, I recover automatically the receipt on hold, and I can finalize the transaction and mix the different payment methods. So here, this is Cegid Retail Live Store in a fixed mode. So I can mix a first part, for example, with cash, and to finalize the transaction with an EFT terminal. At this stage, to show you an integration with ADN, so you need to be connected to share the same Wi-Fi and to send the amounts directly to the EFT terminal and finalize the transaction. At the end of that, the transaction will be recorded and will belong to this register, and you have both choice. You can both send the receipt by email if you want to, or you can launch the printing of this receipt. So this is the first scenario, very simple, to understand quickly the interface and to start sometimes a project in a mobility. That's, for example, how some current brands like Paliveris, like Picture Organic Clothing, start their project with this kind of use case, because this is a first step to understand how the solution works and to have a strong and quick and fast, adoption from the team. After that, of course, after this implementation, after this first step, the key topic for a team in store is to say, okay, now I want maybe to set up the step number 2 and to be able to manage the full checkout process. I mean, as a sales associate, as a sales advisor, I want to be able to manage my selling ceremony and to be able alone with my customer to manage everything from the basket creation to the transaction. And for that, we have the ability, of course, so this is the customer journey where I get my customer, I can present the collection, I populate the basket, and at the end, I can have the ability to manage the transaction. So for the transaction, it could be, as you see just before, it could be done only with a mobile, with a smartphone and an EFT like that, with ADN, for example, or it could be, this is really new, done directly with kind of all-in-one device. So we work with different partners for that, with MWC, with Alma, with Alien, for this kind of scenario with WorldPay 2. What is interesting is this is an example here of all-in-one formats. I mean, I build the baskets. I have the ability quickly to identify the baskets, to finalize the transaction, but everything is done automatically on this unique device. I mean, I have the Live Store application installed on the device and also the EFT terminal. So this is an all-in-one format and a kind of scenario where you have the contactless, where you can finalize this kind of transaction. So this is a kind of hardware very new on the markets. And we have some tests already done and proved by the team. So you can have device like that. You can have, as I explained, other kind of device provided by Alien or by WorldPay 2 for this kind of formats. And to show you another example of full checkout process, here this is an example where I identify first a customer. I assign the customer directly to my basket. So you see here the customer information. I have different kind of information related to the customer thanks to the timeline. And I can manage so a complete customer journey directly from there. I mean, I need to identify and populate my basket with an item. So I can select if I have different dimension. So this is a yellow corner case here. So with a different dimension mask, where I identify the product, as you will see. Automatically, for example, the product is not available in my store. I want to create an order. And sometimes when this is an expensive item, sometimes the customer can be interested with the new way of payment that we see on the different stores is the payment in several times. So we are able, here this is an example with Alma, we are able, for example, to offer, thanks to this different connector, to offer the ability for the customer to pay in several times. So it's in 3 times here. We send, for example, thanks to the connector, we send to the consumer directly a link where the customer from its own smartphone can finalize directly the customer order. So it's done with one of our partners called MWC Partners for that. And automatically the transaction is registered, the payment method is accepted for that, and we have the ability to manage this kind of payment methods thanks to these different connectors. So in this way, what is interesting is to show a different kind of full checkout process. You can, of course, imagine set up first a full checkout, very simple with disconnected EFT, where you need to type manually and to enter manually your amounts on your EFT, or you can, of course, this is a better way and the more secure way to do. You can have a kind of connectors with one of these partners to have the connected payments and to benefit of this kind of experience you discover today. After that, what is interesting is also to say, so just to explain about the full checkout, some of our customers did this choice. So like the Zoo Park Beauval, which is for people who don't know, this is one of the biggest zoo in France. And in this zoo, what is interesting is at the end of the day, for example, they have a lot of people at the same time in the shop, and to be able to manage everyone quickly, because sometimes you just want to buy, you know, some goodies or some items like as a souvenir in the shop. So to accelerate that, their objective was to implement Live Store with a full checkout mode, and all the different sales advisor are able to manage the full checkout process in mobility. And they are EFT terminal at the different area into the shop in order to finalize the transaction directly with the customer without passing by the fixed POS. Of course, obviously, if the customer wants to pay by cash, automatically I put on hold the receipt, or I send directly the customer to the fixed POS to manage this kind of cash components and features. Another use case which is interesting with Live Store, and this is one of the main topics, is to be able to support omnichannel scenario. Because just before we talk about the ability to manage checkout process, or to accelerate, you know, the flows in store, and in order to sell physically product where I have inventory available. But sometimes what is interesting for a store, because we don't have we don't have a large space in the store, so sometimes we cannot promote physically all the collection. So as a sales associate, my objective is to be able to continue to promote all the collection. And if a customer want to buy a product which is not physically present here, I have to be able, of course, to advise the customer and to sell it in a order formats. So for that, different kind of processes are available. The first one is, for example, the reservation. When the customer see that the product is available in store, you want to reserve the product and you want to collect this product later, because maybe he doesn't have the time today, or maybe the product is too huge, or is too expensive, and the customer doesn't want to take the subway, take the train with that. So maybe he just want to reserve the item today. When he starts the scenario, as you see here, so the customer is already identified, and when I have access to the information, so I select a product. So just with some criteria, I can identify the good product. I select the product, I select the size, the color, and when I want to reserve for pickup in store, I select the goods, pickup address and delivery methods. I finalize this kind of details, and as this is a reservation, I will ask for deposits. For the deposits, it will depend of the rules of your store. It could be a full deposit, or it could be at least a percentage of deposits that you configure in your store. So here, for example, I take only 40 euros. I finalize the transaction, and at this stage, this reservation is on hold. This is a reservation request, and the store has to manage this kind of reservation. So what's happened next when a reservation is pending? So the store is notified, and the store automatically can, of course, pick the product. It will launch automatically a notification to the customer in order to inform that the product is ready to be picked up. And when the customer come in store to collect, I just need to identify my customer, to assign my customer to the basket. And you see, I have a little icon on the top to inform that linked to this customer, I have some events, some notification. I can select the products and automatically add to the cart the reservation. So recover the reservation, which is here. And at the end, I can just transform the reservation into the sale. So we already have a deposit. So you just need to finalize the payment of the balance due and to finalize the transaction with the payment method that the customer wants. And automatically at the end, this reservation is done. So the status of the reservation is moved on pickup in store status. So automatically in the customer record of this customer, so Maureen Wilson, on this customer record, I will see that like the last item purchased by this customer, so this one, are now this status, so everything is okay for that. So in terms of omnichannel processes, different scenarios are available. So last time during a previous webinar, we showcase mainly the order creation where the product is not available and I choose, I create an order and I select the delivery at home as delivery methods. So today we did the choice to show during this webinar a new one, which is the reservation process. So the order creation is something already done by a brand like Yellow Corner. And we have, since some weeks, a new features available in this platform, which is dedicated to the mixed baskets. So sometimes you can have the scenario where the customer wants to order a product, but also wants to buy now a product which is already available. And this is a kind of mixed basket that you have here. And on a single transaction, you can have automatically record the transaction and finalize with the payments. Automatically, the first one, so the order, will be by default taken on the e-commerce warehouse. So we can track the origin of the order. So this order is created on the in-store. So automatically on your reports, we can track that this order is taken, of course, on the e-commerce warehouse, but was created from the store. So in terms of commission or in terms of commission, you can of course follow and track this different process of on different reports you can have with the Y2 system, for example. Another element is to talk about the CRM. So sometimes, of course, you understood that we have the ability to track customers into the system. So we can, of course, identify by scan or by search an existing customer and have a visibility of different information, personal details, loyalty information when the loyalty program is enabled. You can also have a kind of timeline when you can have a look about the last purchase of your customer. So you can put some features in order to display only the orders, or if you want to display everything, you can select so all categories. So the simple sales, the orders, the returns, for example, to have a global view of your customer. And in terms of digital experience, more and more retailers have a look about the digital customer capture. So the ability to give more independence to the final consumer in order to create its own account on the brand network. So, for example, we saw that different brands made a choice to set up in a self-service. You can have sometimes some tablets. You can have a QR code at different area into the store, and automatically the customer can scan with this on smartphone. If the video want to launch, sorry, I want to go back to network. So here, if I go back to the screen, sorry for this technical. Okay, so here What is interesting is I can, as a consumer, scan directly a QR code which is available somewhere in the store with my account, because this is my own smartphone. As a customer, I can sign with my Apple accounts or with my Google, or just fill the form that we have here, and automatically when I submit my information, thanks to the web services and the API, I create my accounts to the Cegid system, and I can benefit of this kind of digital cards. This kind of scenario can be provided by third app partners. So we work with different companies. One of them is called NeoStore. And with this kind of digital tool, what is interesting is this is more digital for the customer capture. And when the customer show the cards to the sales associates, I can scan very quickly with my barcode scanner or with my smartphone or iPad. I can scan the QR codes or the barcodes in order to identify quickly the customer. After that, so just a quick example to show you something that this partner provides. So this is the link between Live Store and their platform. So you can, for example, open this extension, the NeoStore extension from Live Store. The customer just need to put its email or its phone number, and automatically the customer will receive on the screen on the right on its own smartphone, he will receive a kind of pop-up by message. On this link, the customer can later, after its visit, complete the form and put other information. And when he will validate this information, automatically it will update the information on the customer records in our system. We can, of course, finalize the sales just after, and decide for the customer himself. He can decide if he wants to receive notification or not. It's his choice to manage this kind of purpose. So this is something already used by some brands, this kind of digital customer capture, like Jacquemus, like Miniso, for example, like Moa. And this is a kind of features that increase a lot the customer capture in store, because that simplify the process, of course, in terms of customer registration. So just in terms of webinar, and of course I will check if you have any question and I will try to answer to it. You will have a new session about different topics in the coming weeks. This webinar about Live Store will be managed another time during 2023 with key features that currently under development that we'll be able to show for the next session. So thank you for your attention for that. So I will have a look right now if you have any question. So just let me have a look on it.